Hey everybody, welcome to ABA Inside Track, episode 47 preview edition. Welcome to 2018.
Oh my goodness.
It's actually been like a week and a half, I think, since New Year's, so you're all kind of over the shock of being in a brand new year. And it's a brand new year with us here at ABA Inside Track, the podcast that brings the best of behavior analytic research to you. Well, we don't bring the research to you. We just sort of read it and discuss it in a digestible format for you. We're a middleman, I know.
I show up at your door at like newspaper and bring you the articles. All of you, one by one. I'm like, good morning.
And then she asks if you have any snacks.
Yeah. Good morning. I'm hungry. Here's your articles.
So if you're new to the show, every other week we do a full-length discussion on a given topic related to behavior analysis. And in between those, we'll do these little previews where we sort of, talk, see what's going on. We have a Facebook page. Sometimes people will post some things on there. Sometimes we have interesting updates related to behavior analysis. And sometimes we just get off topic and talk about garbage that we would cut out of the regular podcast. So if we stick it here, it's like the movie The Purge. One night every year.
Never saw it.
Crime is legal.
And
then there's no crime anymore.
Oh, I saw that. It was awful.
It was really bad. But so it's like that. We do these previews. We won't have too many tangents.
They wear
during the
animal
regular
masks?
episode. That is Your Next.
Wow.
Also bad.
No, what? Your Next is great. Your Next, P.S., Your Next subverts the expectations of the home invasion genre. It's good.
I didn't see The Purge then.
I didn't
Purge
see
is
anything.
lame.
If it's not a Hallmark movie, I haven't watched it.
It's not a Hallmark movie.
Oh, BT Dubs,
Hallmark
guys.
horror.
So they do have that Movies and Mysteries channel. But because of the overwhelming success of Hallmark Christmas movies, if you don't know this, they have released 4 Hallmark romance winter movies. It's like Love on the Slopes. Like names
someone jumping out of a Christmas present.
Yeah.
How many stories can they do about like it's Christmas or cold and people fall in love? Like,
Yeah,
how can they do that?
If
There's
people
a
in
ton.
comas and stuff.
I don't know. I haven't watched them. But I know that they're coming out this January. So that's what I'm going to be doing. You're like, where's Jackie? Oh, she's watching Hallmark because she's old.
Yeah, seriously.
Anyway.
Well, so next week we'll be talking about our new topic, which will be social preference assessment.
Reinforcer.
Social reinforcer assessments. Sorry, I've done that so many times wrong. Social reinforcer assessments. And this was a topic that Diana wanted to do, and Jackie and I begrudgingly did it.
No, we wanted
as
to do it. We wanted to do it.
It's such a great topic.
It really is.
I think it was because this was full disclosure, we're recording this after we actually recorded that episode because we did that one before Christmas. So I think
we were
it was
just
the
tired.
season. We were very tired. We were trying to get a lot of recordings in.
We were tired.
So we didn't miss a week during the vacation. So
You guys
we were
suck.
very tired. Sorry.
Today's
Great
opposite.
topic, and I can't wait for you all to hear us talk about it.
Yes.
Right.
So we'll be talking about 2 articles. One of them is like 7 articles in one, and they don't even do that experiment 1, experiment 2 jazz. It's that vast an article.
Comprehensive.
It's a Megatron.
It's a Megatron.
It's a Voltron.
It's Voltron is a better.
Megatron
Is
is
a better illusion.
Is the Lions
Nope.
linebacker.
No. What? Yeah. I think yes. It's also a robot that turns into a gun.
Oh.
The
Voltron. It's a
Transformers.
Voltron.
It's a Voltron.
It's a Voltron.
It's a Voltron. All right, and our 2 articles are Assessment Protocol for Identifying Preferred Social Consequences by Smaby, MacDonald, Ahearn, and Dube from Behavioral Interventions in 2007. And our second article, Evaluation of Assessment Methods for Identifying Social Reinforcers by Kelly, Roscoe, Hanley, and Schlichenmeyer from the Journal of Applied Behavior Analysis, 2014. Boom, putting those down now.
When their powers combine, they are Grayskull.
Now you are having a hard time with your...
I think I'm pretty close.
I just started blank staring because I have no idea what you're talking about.
You're referring to many things, none of which are research.
Oh, okay, good.
So viewers, have you noticed our new mugs?
Yes, if you follow us on Facebook, we put a picture of these when we received them. A little clip of them. They are from our sister-in-law, who's also a behavior analyst.
Who's my friend, not my sister-in-law.
And also, yeah, she's just
Thanks,
Diana and me.
T-Gene.
But yes, she
We
made
love
us
them
these
so
great
much.
mugs.
And what I really love is that in the inside of the mugs are different colors for each of us for our favorite colors. And she also used different fonts according to our style.
Yeah, so they have the ABA logo on the front and then our names on the back in script that she felt matched our personality
Which is sweet.
and our favorite color.
Like-
It's super sweet.
Diana's is like elegant. Mine's a little snazzy.
Mine's
And
like
Yeah.
Rob's like
funky.
computer.
like 80s, like a 70s idea of what the 80s computer font would look like.
We love them.
We
They're
do
great.
love them.
And now we're all thematic and everything.
That's right.
We're
Yeah.
we're
We're
big
ringing in the
time.
new year.
We're big time now.
Cheers.
Cheers and big time.
Where's our tea sponsorship? That's what I want.
Oh yeah, right.
Call us. Tea. British East India Company. You should give us a call.
I'm gonna put your pinky up for that one.
Ooh.
Call us.
So if you are in New England, you realize after all the holiday cheer that it snowed a ton. Actually, not just New England. It snowed
Like
everywhere.
the whole country.
A lot of snow.
It's covered in snow and freezing, frigid, cold temperatures.
And we started kind of having a chat before we started recording about what to do with these colder times and when you're sort of stuck inside and you can't go out because your kids will freeze or you will freeze if you spend more than 5 minutes outside. And so we were talking about some different, movies and Hallmark stuff. And then Diana had an idea. If you are interested in behavior analysis and a behavior analysis podcast, well, we're not actually the only. You might already know this, but we're not actually the only behavior or podcast about human behavior.
It's true. So perhaps you've already listened to the almost 50 episodes that we have in our canon. And if that's the case and you have not listened to the other podcasts, then I highly suggest that you hop over and check those out too. The Behavioral Observations podcast, which is run by Matt Chicoria, has
Matt.
roughly close to 50 episodes as well. And in those episodes, he's interviewed varying big names in the field related to their individual areas of study, and there's some fascinating conversations over there.
So fun.
I think Pat Fryman's been on there a couple times. What was it? There was a more recent one. I think it was
About
like
public
public speaking.
It was really good.
It's good, yeah, totally. And then you could also hop over and listen to Why We Do What We Do, which is with Ryan O'Donnell and his buddy Abraham. And they, while it's behavior analytic in its underlying content, they really address a lot of varying aspects of human behavior and sort of come at it from a little bit more of a general psychology approach. Theirs are really fun to listen to too, so I highly suggest you check both of those out if you are driving around in the snow or stuck at home in the snow.
And you've listened to every single episode that we've already produced,
Sure.
like twice, and you're like, I guess I should listen to something different.
That's why I'm wearing my hat, guys.
Because it's cold.
It's
'Cause I'm
cold
so
outside.
cold.
It's cold outside.
Yeah. I'm cold.
All right. Well, now that we have things to do, things to read, let's move into our last section, which is errata, which is an area where if people have things to write in or suggestions, then they write in or they send us messages on the Facebook page. And Jackie, you had a couple things you saw on Facebook recently that you wanted to share. You thought were cool.
I did want to share some things. So in November, listener Sherry, I love saying that because it reminds me of like a talk show host. Listener Sherry, hey Sherry, wrote in and said, "Hey, engineers of ABA." Train reference there. That's funny.
Oh, that's good.
Yep.
I went over my head.
She just finished the podcast on anxiety, and she recommended that we take a look at Janine Golden and Jessica Minahan's work in addressing anxiety. And so she said that she saw them in ABAI, and it was really fascinating. So we're gonna look into that, and I think that's good. So if
I feel like Jessica Minahan is local.
She is local.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
she's
find,
local to Massachusetts, and she does a lot of speaking engagements
Newton?
around here.
Maybe she was like a Newton.
Mhm.
Or
Cool.
Newton for a while.
but yeah, so we're gonna check that out, see what we can do. Maybe if you're listening, Jessica, give us a call and you can come to Diana's house.
And I said I saw her website. That it looks it's more fancy than what
she has a fancy
we
website,
have going
but she comes very highly recommended.
Okay.
So she does some good work.
Yeah. So I just wanted to give a shout out.
It's
Thanks.
not a knock. It's a fancy website. I get
You're
pretty
right, he's just intimidated.
Yeah.
intimidated by fancy websites.
That happens. I do too. I am too.
You don't. No one intimidates you.
I don't even look at websites.
You just go up and hug people. You're like, "Would you want me on my show?" And you hug them.
Do you want to be my friend? Yes. That's the answer. Then I give the full verbal prompt. Yes. Nice job answering yes. I do. Yeah, so I just wanted to thank Sherry for her suggestion, and we're going to really take a look into it. Yeah.
Great. All right. Oh, and finally, if you are listening to this, it means that our move to a new podcast hosting service has worked. We realized that, so you might have noticed this if you've been listening to a long time, but we have a website on Squarespace, and apparently you can only do 100 episodes before they sort of stop populating the old ones in iTunes. So if you were new to the show and wanted to hear some of our earliest episodes, like conditioned reinforcers in the social setting, we had a nice interview. Actually, I think she was our first guest with Dr. Amanda Kelly on pre-session pairing.
It's episode 6.
Those were impossible to find, except unless you went directly to the website and found the page or went to our previous episodes page. So we decided we have to make a switch because we already have more than 100 pieces of content at this point out there in the podcast feed, and it was relatively painless. And as far as I can tell, it seems like things have been downloading. We've been talking a lot about whether we want to have different pictures show up in the podcast feed, because apparently you can do fancy things like that. Dinah said no. So if you download an episode and it's got a weird picture, like our last episode had a picture of Kurt Russell from The Strongest Man in the World, the 70s Disney classic. Don't think that's our new logo. I just usually have little thumbnails, and apparently sometimes it sticks them in the podcast players. So if you never saw it, doesn't matter. We're probably going to switch back to just plain old logo. But if you see weird pictures or anything weird, please feel free to email us at abainsidetrack@gmail.com or message us on Facebook to let us know what you're noticing, because I don't have a ton of time to devote just to futzing around with the system. So when things screw up, unless it's blatantly apparent, I don't always notice it. So please feel free to let me know if something looks weird or is a mess. That one I know about, though. Dinah said no. She doesn't like Kurt Russell, I guess. I don't know.
No, I love those old movies.
I want to put Kurt Russell as the thumbnail for every
Medfield
podcast
College.
episode. Oh, good. That's good. Good pull. Well, I think that's all we have for this preview episode. So tune in next week for our full-length episode on social reinforcer assessments. Until then, you can find us online as ABA Inside Track. Email at abainsidetrack@gmail.com. Thanks, Diana. Thank you, Jackie.
Thanks, guys.
Welcome to the new year, everybody. And we'll see you all next week. Until then, keep responding. Bye.
Bye.